Hello everyone, my name is Sujal Beniwal. Welcome back to another video on Python basics. So today we are going to be covering another topic, that is numbers. I'm going to teach you some functions about numbers. We're going to learn how to work with them and how simple they really are and how useful they are. So it's going to be a fun video, stick to the end. And in the last video we covered some three basic concepts about Python, and this is another one of them. This is also really basic. So let's get started. So we can print out a number just like any string. We can use print and we can just put the number in. We do not need to use any quotation marks for it, and this should be fine printing it out. We can also use decimal points. We can type anything out in a decimal, and Python should be good printing that out as well. So we can also print out negative numbers. So I can just do this and it should print out the number. Now we can also use arithmetic statements with this. We can also we can use addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, anything, any arithmetic statement. Python will be good handling that. So I can just write 2 plus 3 and this should print out 5. Same with subtraction, I can do 2 minus 3 and this should print out minus. Alright, this should print out -1, and I can also do 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3, and this should print out 6, and I can do 2 divided by 3 and this should print out 0.6666. Well, that's a bit of a cursed number, so I'm just going to change it to 2. So Python should be fine handling any arithmetic statement that you put into it: multiplication, division, addition or subtraction. Now we can also specify the order of these equations. We can use more complex equations with it. So if you do not specify, I can do 2 into 2 minus 3 and this should print out 1. So if you do not specify the order, what this is going to do is it's going to go from left to right and it's going to do all the functions in that order. Now we can specify the order of these functions using parentheses. Just like in real maths, I can the bracket part is going to be solved first. So I can just do this, and then 2 minus 3 will be solved first, and then the resultant will be multiplied by 2. So it should show -2. So this can vary your result a lot. Just keep that in mind. So now we are going to do another real quick function, and that is modulus. Right. So what a modulus does is it's going to basically divide the first number by the second number and it's going to spit out the remainder of it. So we can do 10, and this is the sign for modulus, and 3. So this is pronounced as 10 mod 3 or 10 modulus 3, and 10 divided by 3 gives 9 with a remainder of 1. So we should get out 1 on our console. Now we can also store a number into a variable. So it's like any other string value. We can just name our variable and we can store the value in it. Just the difference is we do not have to use any quotation marks. So I can just name it my_num is equal to 2. So the variable should store this value 2. You can use any decimal point, anything that you like, and I can just print this value out, my_num, and this should print out the number 2. Really easy stuff. So now we also have to learn how we can convert this string, this number, into a string. So this is really handy operation. This is really important operation, because when you have to use numbers with other strings, you will have to use this statement. So to do it, it's very simple. We have to create another parentheses for it, and we have to type a function called str. There it is, and this will convert our number that is inside the variable into a string. So when we print this out, it's gonna be all the same, but now this is in a string value. So we can use it with any other string. So I can say my favorite number. So this Python will have no problem printing it out. 2 is my favorite number. But if we were to not use this function, Python would actually give us an error. So now a lot of times we are going to be using more specific operations, and those specific operations are called functions of numbers. So function is basically like a little collection of code that does something. A function could perform an operation, like it can perform any operation like a mathematical operation on a number, or and it can also give us information about our number. So these are basically some functions that will make our life easier when we are working with numbers and big codes. So I'm gonna just speed through some of these functions, some basic functions. Now, if you want to learn all the functions, because there are a lot, there are a lot, you can just go to any website. You can just look through the list of the functions, keep on practicing. I'm going to be showing basic and really important functions. So let's get started. Now, the first function that we are going to be talking about is called an absolute value, or ABS. So what this function does is going to basically convert the value that you give it in number form, and it's going to convert that value into its absolute form. So I'm just going to show you guys. So we can use this function by typing ABS, and then we can write a variable or number into it. As you can see, my variable contains the value -5, and it's going to turn that -5 into its absolute value, and that is 5. So we can input any number into it, and it's going to print out the absolute value of it, and that is a positive number. Like I can type -26, and it's still going to print out 20. It's 20 or 26. So now another function that we have here is called power, or POW. So what this function does is it's going to basically raise the first number to the power of the second number, or the value of the second number. So this is going to raise 3 to the power of 2, printing out the resultant 9. So we can put anything here. We can put 4, and what this will do is it's going to raise the number 3 to the power of 4. So this should print out 81. Really nice. So another function that we have is called max. So what this function does is it will print out the higher of the two values that we input into it. So we can type in max, and we can leave the two numbers 3 and 4 here. So what this is going to do is it's going to give out or return the larger of the two numbers. So this should print out 4, and you can put anything. You can put 8, and the larger number that we have will be printed out. So I can switch the first number with 10, and now 10 is the larger number, so this will print out 10. So now here we have another function. This function is directly opposite to the last function, and this is called minimum. So what this is going to do is it's going to print out the lower value of the two numbers that we input into it. So it's going to give out the lower value or the minimum value of the two numbers. So in this example, 3 comma 2, 2 is the lower number. So this is the code is going to spit out 2. So I can just change it to 4. And now between these two numbers, the lower value is 3. So this will print out 3. Really easy stuff. Now another function that we have here is called round. So what this is going to do is it's going to round off the number that we give into it to the nearest bottom or top. So the round off rules are really simple, just like real maths. If it is above 0.5, it will be rounded off to the seal, and if it is below 0.5, it will be rounded off to the lower one. So I can just do 3.5, and this should be rounded off to 4, and I can do 3.4, and this should be rounded off to 3. Now to use other Python functions that we have. So now to use further functions, we are going to want to be using something known as importing. So in Python, we can actually import external code, and we can use it in our project or in our files to access a variety of other functions that come with it. So to access more functions about numbers, we're going to have to import something known as Python maths. So to import Python maths, you will have to write this simple command, that is from math import and star. So what this will do is it's going to import all the Python code about maths into our project so that we can use them easily. So now the first function that I want to show you guys about this is floor. So I can just I'll just type a number, floor, parentheses, and now what this is going to do is just give me a minute. floor, and now we can input a value into this. So what this will do is it's gonna, that's fine. So now what this is gonna do is it's gonna chop off the 0.7 or any decimal point that is given inside the number. So basically it's gonna round the number off to the nearest floor or the lowest value. So what this is gonna give is it's gonna give 3 and it's gonna chop off the 0.7 and it's gonna give the lowest rounded off value, so 3. So we can type 3.95 for example, and it's gonna round it off to the nearest bottom, and that is 3. So another function similar to floor is ceil. It is opposite of floor. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna round the number off to the nearest top, or the it's gonna round off that number to the highest value. So 3.1, it's gonna round it off to 4. So as you can see, it's gonna round it off to 4. I can write 0.0001 and it is still gonna round it off to 4 because that is the highest round of value. Like, it's gonna round it off to the top, and floor is gonna round it off to the bottom. So now another small function that I want to show you guys, it's called sqrt, that is square root. So it's gonna give out the square root of the number that we input, sqrt, and I can just write 36 into it, and it's gonna print out 6 as it is the square root of 36. Now it can also print out any decimal value. As you can see, it prints out any decimal value as well. So thank you everyone for watching. This is it for today's video. Next video will be live next week on another 2 topics. And if you want the notes regarding this topic or any other topic, you can request it on my email. Email will be in the description down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you would like to request a specific topic regarding beginners and basics, you can also email me. I'll get back to you really soon. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.